During the 2016 election, the Democratic Party was accused time and time again of being elitist and not serving the best interests of its constituents and those on the left. And some on the left were incredibly puzzled by those accusations. But Mark Warner and his recent proposal in regard to payday lenders and deregulating them is a perfect example of why it appears some establishment Democrats have no interest in looking out for the best interests of the American people, but rather the best interests of corporations and those who want to do predatory lending. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with payday lenders, they have gotten a lot of flack in recent years over the interest rate that they tack onto these payday loans. And they're short-term loans, but oftentimes what happens is people can't catch up with them. So they keep taking out more. And in some cases, the interest rate that's tacked on can be up to 400%. And so there were efforts by the Consumer Protection Bureau to regulate these types of payday loans so it would cap the interest rate to the same interest rate that is lawful in any given state that this company operates in. Now, let's give you the details on what Mark Warner wants to do. In late July, didn't get much news, but Warner introduced Protecting Consumers' Access to Credit Act of 2017. The legislation would allow payday lenders to ignore state interest rate caps on consumer loans as long as they partnered with a national bank. Now, national banks deal with some regulation, but it's much more laxed when it comes to the issue of interest rates. And so when these predatory lenders, these payday lenders realize that, they realize that, hey, if we can just work with a national bank, well, the national bank can give out that loan initially and then immediately sell it off to us, and they get a commission, we get the money, we get that high interest rate. It was just a scheme. So
it's complicated, but I want to just explain it just a tiny bit more. So if you're just working within the state, they can regulate you and limit you to 36% interest rate, which is what most states do. Now, 36% interest rate is still gigantic, okay? But okay, fine, at least it's capped. But they found a loophole. The loophole was, well, if I'm not giving you the loan, but a national bank from a different state than this one is giving it, then they're not subject to the state law.
That's right.
So technically, the bank is giving you the loan and then converting it, as Anna explained, which allows them to charge interest rates up to 380%. Now, Mark Warner, I don't think that I'm going to give him way too much benefit of the doubt here. I think that he genuinely believes that he is trying to stimulate business, okay? Now, it doesn't hurt that they are stimulating his campaign contributions, right? And that's usually how it works. And they pour in a lot of money to him and to other Democratic senators, but they get themselves to believe, no, especially the Silicon Valley guys, there's a couple of sophisticated new companies that are gonna do this and they need access across the states. But in reality, no, they're using the same loophole to be able to charge 380% interest. So Mark Warner introduces it and paints it as he's protecting your access to credit. No, you've got the access to credit either way. Just under one circumstance, they still charge you a huge interest rate of 36%. In the other one, they're charging you a rate that is so high that it gets you into a cycle of poverty. And to give you a sense of how bad it is, according to Pew, a typical customer keeps on rolling over the paydays because it's such a big fee that they're charged. Look, people don't have a lot of money. You know, the people in Washington and New York, it's unfair to say they think it's a joke. They just are not familiar with it, right? So that they can't comprehend it. You know that for about 3/4 of Americans, they could not withstand a $700 blow to their finances.
They're one paycheck away from being in a significant financial problem.
And so for them, borrowing, for example, $375, they wind up having to pay a $55 fee. So if you're rich and you're Washington, New York, you're like, $55 fee, what's the big deal, okay? But that's only for a couple of weeks. That's what winds up being 380%, and they can't pay that back because they keep running after it. So for the typical consumer that does that kind of loan, the fee winds up at the end being $520 when the original loan was only $375. So the loan that they got to pay back, the interest they got to pay back is more than what they originally borrowed. And this is what keeps people in a cycle of poverty. That's why they want to do regulation on this. And instead, he proposes,
wants to do the opposite, and he wants to essentially pull back regulations or deregulate this industry further. And keep in mind that this is something that is likely to pass because one, the media is not on this at all. I want to give Zach Carter at the Huffington Post credit for reporting on this because this was not on anyone's radar. And remember, the first proposal was back in July. It's likely to pass because it has bipartisan support. So there are corporatist Democrats that are in favor of this. Let me give you the details on that. Now, companion legislation is scheduled to a vote in the House Financial Services Committee today, where the bill has the backing of Representatives Greg Meeks, who's a Democrat in New York, and Gwen Moore, who's a Democrat in Wisconsin. They're so-called liberal Democrats with a history of sympathy for the financial industry.
They're not liberal Democrats.
Yeah.
Just because you think gay people should have the same rights as straight people and black people should have the same rights as white people doesn't make you a liberal. Those are guys who consistently sell out to the financial industry.
So Warner's Senate version is also co-sponsored by Tea Party darling Senator Pat Toomey and Senator Gary Peters. So to your earlier point where you're trying to be fair and give him the benefit of the doubt, I'm not buying that. He knows who he's working with, and to think, oh, maybe he really is trying to stimulate business and help people out. No. 400% interest rates on payday loans. How does that stimulate? Yeah, it stimulates business for these payday lenders. Certainly doesn't help the American people.
Look, and don't get me wrong, he gets himself to believe those pretty little lies.
Yeah.
So, and the reality is, this is how they rob you in the middle of the night. Because while you're looking at Trump's tweets and the big plans of the Republicans to do X, Y, or Z, all of a sudden we have bipartisanship on an issue where the banks win and you lose. Wow, funny how that happened. One of the other people supporting the bill is arch-conservative Patrick McHenry. So somehow arch-conservatives and Democrats wound up agreeing on a bill where you pay all the money and the national banks and the payday lenders and now some of the new, more quote-unquote sophisticated version of payday lenders in Silicon Valley all get rich.
And look, I think that the big takeaway from this, aside from a really terrible policy proposal, is the fact that you have members of the Democratic Party who don't understand why voters feel like they were abandoned by them. This is why. You think people are stupid? You think people don't know? You think people aren't dealing with terrible economic situations that you aren't addressing properly? That you're actually, taking counterproductive measures against? I mean, come on. And it's pathetic. And they're so defiant about how far removed they are from the actual struggles of average Americans.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not like they didn't know, because the Americans for Financial Reform, the Center for Responsible Lending, Consumer Federation for America, the NAACP, the Southern Poverty Law Center, all wrote letters to all these Democrats saying, don't do it. Don't do it. This entraps people into this cycle of poverty. This is a terrible piece of legislation. And the corporate Democrats looked at it and went, yes, but you're not our donors. And then they go, what, we're liberals, why are people frustrated with establishment Democrats? This is why. It's a system of corruption. It's built on corruption. Private financing leads to them working for private interests. It's way past time that they work for our public interest. If you like this video, you'll love the whole TYT network. Check it out at tytnetwork.com/join.